Hey everybody, here's a short video on a few tips and tricks for the Garmin Fenix 3 watch. The first one is hotkeys. Hotkeys are two different keys on the watch that you can configure as sort of shortcuts to different features. Instead of going through the settings and the system and pressing a bunch of buttons, you just press one button and it takes you automatically to that feature. You can customize it. To get to hotkeys, to set it up, you long press the up button, arrow down to settings, press start, go up to system, press start, and go to hotkeys right there. You press start and it shows the hold start up here. I have it configured as Bluetooth. To hold back right here, I have it configured as save location. To give you an idea of what you can do. So I go like that on start and it shows you your options. You can have a save location, you can turn the hotkey off, you can put timer, stopwatch, Bluetooth, like a GPS dual grid. You can lock your device, you have Wi-Fi, all that stuff. These are all things you can set up with one long press of the start button or the back button. It's pretty handy. Yeah, so to give you an example, I have my hotkey and the start one set up as my Bluetooth. And then I have my back one set up as my save location. Pretty cool. So anytime I want to turn on my Bluetooth or turn it off, I just long press this instead of going through settings and system and all that junk. Anytime I want to save location, I long press this, wait for GPS, and it's good to go. Instead of going down to navigation, save location, all that junk. Handy. Another cool tip or trick is the lock screen. On the lock screen, locks your watch face or the screen at whatever screen you're looking at. So, for instance, right now I'm on just the basic multi-face line setting of this particular watch face. But let's say I wanted to go up to this screen right here, the altimeter, the compass, and the barometer, the ABC one. If I wanted to just stay on this screen, if I was navigating or hiking or whatever, in order to initiate the lock screen, long press the light button. It gives you an option to lock, to do not disturb, or to power off. I want to lock it, so I press start. Now what that does is, normally, if I wanted to get out of this screen, I would press up or press down, or press here to do an app or whatever. Well, watch what happens when I press down. It shows a lock. When I press up, it shows a lock. Any button that I press, it will show a lock, and it keeps the screen locked on that specific screen. It's very, very handy. Now, to get out of the lock screen, you long press this. And just some of the uses of the lock screen, you can, if you're doing an exercise or something where you might bump your watch or whatever, if you're out in the woods and you might bump it on something, or if you're lifting weights or training with something, you might bump your watch. You want to keep it on that screen, you can do the lock screen. Very, very handy. Also, if you're in the middle of, say, an app and you wanted to lock it on the map, you do the lock screen and it locks it on the map. It won't go to any other screen. It won't allow it to. The lock screen is a very, very handy tip or trick. All right, another cool little tip or trick that you can do is you can configure an alert on an activity to act as a sort of reminder to you. If you have something that you have to do later on in the day, you have to do something, call somebody or go somewhere and pick up something and you can't forget. Let's say you have to pick up the dry cleaning, or you have to call your mother, or whatever you have to do. You want to remember it. Well, let's say you're out on the trail and you're doing a run, or you're just somewhere where you're away from your phone, which is your normal reminder type device. You can set up an activity here to act as a sort of timer and set an alert on that activity. So I have chosen an activity that I don't ever use. I've chosen ski and board. The data screens, I've disabled all but one. You can see off, 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 off. They're all off. And I've done this so I've limited the battery that this activity it will take up as I'm running it. The alert, I have one alert. And look at that. I put beer. Now you can customize it. Message beer. You can change it. You can go down here, you know what I mean? And you can change the message, which is great. Well, let me show you how it works. And the whole point of this is, let's say right now it's 3:51. Let's say at, I don't know, 8 o'clock or whatever, I needed to go buy some beer. I needed to buy beer before 10. Well, let's say I start the activity right now. And I've sent myself a reminder to get this beer. Let's say I wanted to remind myself in an hour or whatever. Now I'm going to start this activity. I don't care about GPS or any of that stuff. And I want to go back to my main screen or my main watch face, which there we go. Now I can go navigate and do this, all my normal stuff, go about my day. But in the background, I have this activity that is set. Oh, there it is. 15 seconds. I have a reminder. I need to go buy beer. It's that simple. Some people will say, oh, well, you're using a lot of battery or this or that. To me, it's worth it. If I'm away from my phone and I need to remind myself of something important, like buying beer, then I use that basic activity. Once I get the reminder and I don't need it anymore, I go up here, I stop the activity, and I discard it and get rid of it. I don't need it taking up space on my watch, and it's gone. So that's a way you can use an alert, customized text alert set at an activity and use the activity as a timer, and the alert will show up at whatever time you decide. It's a cool little tip and trick. Okay, another cool little thing you can do is set up your cell phone or a tablet if you have text messaging or email, any device that you can send a text message or an email on, and you can schedule a different time later on in the day or night to send yourself a text message or yourself an email. Make sure that your watch is connected to your device via Bluetooth. And any time that you're doing an activity or doing anything with your watch, as long as it's connected to your phone or tablet or whatever device you have that can receive notifications, you can send yourself a text message and sort of a reminder, a text reminder. It's kind of like the other, little tip or trick about using a activity alert as a sort of timer reminder type thing. But this one is better because you don't have to be engaged in an activity to use it. And in fact, anytime you're even in an activity or doing anything with your watch, you'll be able to see the notification. I have scheduled myself a message to arrive at 4:07. So I have a few minutes here, and I'm just going to pause it and wait till that gets there and show you what happens. All right, it's been a couple minutes here. The best part about this is that it won't interrupt any activity you're doing. So let's say I want to start an activity. Let's say I decide to go for a walk. There I go. Now I'm on a walk. I'm doing my thing. I have all this set up. I have my different screens set up. Oh, look. I'm going on my walk. I'm doing my thing. And look at that. You get a message. More beer. So I sent myself a message, and I can arrow down, and there it goes. It's already disappeared. That's perfect. That's about the best thing ever. That comes in so handy. You can send yourself a text message, and it'll go to your phone. Obviously, your phone receives it, but your watch receives it too. And it's one of the most useful tricks or tips that I've found when I know I'm going to be in a situation where I don't want to have my phone make a lot of noise, but I have to remind myself of something. It's perfect. So then you can see it even happened during the activity, which is great. So I can actually be in the middle of doing something and get that. The only downfall is I have to have my phone or tablet next to me, like close to me, within range. All right. Cool, man. Tips and tricks. You got to learn this stuff. Makes life easier.